Let's cross to Southampton. Good evening, Joe. So Leeds faltered massively in a big away game, and of course, you've also got that in common with them as well because you trotted up to Leicester not so long
Yeah,
ago with a crucial game, and talk to us about what happened there.
turned in the most bloody pathetic performance I think I've ever seen. I think that was actually probably worse than the Sunderland performance at the beginning of the season. And I didn't think I'd say that, but it was just crap from minute 1 to minute 90, just rubbish all over the pitch.
And then the Stoke game at the weekend. Talk us through that one.
Even worse. Even worse than the Leicester game. I mean, Russell Martin came out on after Leicester and said we wouldn't lose that game with Jack Stevens in the side. Puts Jack Stevens in the side, and we still go ahead and bloody lose the game anyway. It's just pathetic. And came out and he was like, "We need to really knuckle down and get behind the boys and steamroll this running." And we've just been turned over week after week.
Um, there's many in the media that say you two are going to be meeting again in Wembley on May 27th, and I suppose as a betting person, you wouldn't put against it, would you? But if that's to happen, if the worst does happen, of course, to Leeds, then you've got to get past Norwich, and one of you's got to get past West Brom. And at the moment, watching both of you live recently, I'm sorry, but my money's on not Norwich and West Brom
No,
final.
no, me too. Me
So
too.
is mine.
Yeah, so am I. Like, I'm really not confident. Like, what my mates were saying to me the other day, they were like, "Yeah, but we beaten West Brom home and away." It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. That season. This is playoffs. Playoffs is completely different ball game to general season.
Yeah. Okay. What about then this Leeds game for Southampton? Obviously, it's an away game. It's your last away game of the season. How does he approach this? Because you've got two very attacking sides here who like to have the ball. Russell Martin doesn't know any other way other than to play like that. So I'm fascinated. This is not going to be 0-0. How does he approach it, Joe?
Well, he's got to approach it a darn sight better than the last two games, I tell you. I mean, I I would like to see him revert back to the back line that got us our 25 unbeaten. I think the problem with the last two games, we experimented too much, I think. I would like a more settled lineup. I would like to see Flynn back in and we could maybe get a bit more control in midfield. But I think the way we've got to beat Leeds is we've got to attack them down the middle of the park. I think we've just got to run at them, be direct. Like what we did at St Mary's. We were direct, we ran in behind and it worked.
Okay. Joe, would you rather Leeds be in this third position or Ipswich?
Oh, Ipswich.
Is that because you think they're more beatable?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Steve, let's go through the team then for this last home game, and then I'm going to ask you both for your predictions. What's he need to change? There's lots of people talking about that midfield or the lack of it against QPR.
Yeah.
Does he need to bring in different personnel there?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I find it really hard to find one area that was okay, and you sort of want to change it. One of the things that were working for us just before the international break was having Gray at right back and then Kamara and Gruev in centre mid, but Kamara just went off the boil completely. So is it the time to bring him back in and put Gray to right back? Maybe so, try to revert back to what was really working. Bamford he gets all his stick. I thought he did well against Middlesbrough. Obviously, he got the goal, and then, Peru on Friday was shocking. So personally, I would have either Bamford or Mateo Joseph through the middle as well. I think Ruta, Somerville, and Nyonso is I'm happy with that because some of the weeks they will have bad games, but one of them often will come up with a bit of magic. So I'm happy in leaving those three. Ampadu and Rodon really need to show a bit of steel because it's no good as having Southampton come doing them, whether it's 2 or 3, and then actually not building on that in the what could be another 3 games that we've got left to end at season. So we just really need to get back to some sort of normality and reverting back to what worked for us prior to this international break.
I mean, I think I've watched Leeds' last 3 games. Against Blackburn, you were toothless. Yeah. Against Middlesbrough, you were better but couldn't defend. And against QPR, you were both toothless and couldn't defend. Yeah. So I don't know what Leeds sides are going to turn up this weekend. I'm sure Leeds fans are hoping one that can put that right. Joe, any changes for you needed? Like you said, you need to go to that back four that put you in this position in the first place.
An entire new 11 players would be quite nice. I don't know, maybe. I would like to see Flynn come back in holding mid. If he's not ready, then I would like to see Shea Charles start, because I actually thought Leicester was one of his best games, to be honest. I think Brooks should maybe be given a rest. I don't think he's really shown a lot over the last couple of weeks. So maybe bring an Edozie in or a Sulemana and hit them with some pace. And I would actually like to bring Shea back in, because I think his hold-up play is going to be key to the way that we break down Leeds' defence.
Okay. Let's get some score predictions from you both then. Given what you've watched over the last couple of weeks, this is going to be quite a hard one to predict. But it's going to be a great watch for the neutral. I'm hoping Sky choose this one for their live coverage. They have. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Steve, you can go first.
I think it's going to be a few goals in it. I'm gonna go for us both just being just wild on the day, and I'll go for 3-2 Leeds win. Both seem to score. I'm going to edge Leeds just because I'm Leeds and I have to for the final game of the season, but really wouldn't surprise me either for a draw. But I guess if I'm going to try and win some money for myself as well, I'll put 3-2 on.
Okay. Joe?
Well, given the last couple of weeks that I've seen from Southampton, I'm not really confident. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Leeds win. I think them just being at home and just I've seen what the atmosphere is like there. I think it would just be superb, and nothing what I've seen from Southampton the last few weeks has given me any confidence going into the next couple of weeks.
Okay. Well, Ipswich Town fans will all be rooting on the Saints, and I'm sure lots of Huddersfield Town fans will not be wanting to do Leeds any favours. So, Steve, at the end of it all, are we going to be back here next week previewing the Hull away game or the West Brom away game?
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, it were a few years ago that reluctantly Huddersfield helped us when Smith Rowe scored when he went on loan to them, and that enabled us to be promoted. So, who knows? Miracles might happen. I think they've got to get a 15-goal swing lead, haven't they, to stay up? So let's hope for a huge Huddersfield win and a Leeds win. But unfortunately, I've said it before, I don't expect Ipswich to be dropping any points now in these final 2 games, and that's game over. So, Mark, I'll probably see you next week, mate.
Probably will do, yeah. Before I go, Joe, Southampton did their lap of honour at the weekend to a near half-empty stadium. A completely bizarre decision based that you will be back at St Mary's in a couple of weeks, if not next week, isn't it? Was that decision met with the ridicule it deserved?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really understand why the club decided to do it now. I know it was the end of the season, but we've got another game coming up at home in a couple of weeks, so we might as well just have stuck it then. And after that toothless performance, I think the stadium wasn't even half full. I think there's so many empty seats. I'm sure as hell didn't stick around. I got out of there ASAP. But
okay. Right, let's get Ellen Road rocking then, shall we, this weekend? I can't wait myself. I've got my viewing platform. And then, of course, we will be live on Terrace Talk for the final day of the season on Saturday afternoon. So if you're a Leeds fan or Southampton fan, obviously you two come on as well and let us know how it's gone. If you're not too emotional from it all, Steve, that'd be really good to hear from you. Good luck, Leeds fans. Good luck, Saints fans. We'll see you both. We'll see you both next week, one way or another. Cheers.
Right, all the best.